Sovereign is a brand new 2025 film that was directed by Christian Swegal, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this got a limited theatrical release and then was released to streaming. I got to view it streaming. And this has the stars, anyway, are Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay. And they play father and son, and they're the main roles of the film. The only two actors I recognize in this film are Dennis Quaid, who also plays a co-starring role kind of thing, and Thomas Mann or Thomas Mann. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that one, but they also play father and son. So Dennis Quaid and Thomas Mann is a father and son duo, and then the other two are a father and son duo, but they're the main ones. And this is based on a true story. I didn't go into this knowing that it was based on a true story. It just said it right at the beginning of the film. And as a matter of fact, by the time this film finished, I forgot that it was a true story. I was so damn invested in this film. I'm going to start off this review by saying that this is one hell of a hidden gem. And I loved this film. And I already know that it's going to be highly underrated this year. And not a lot of people are going to be talking about this one, unfortunately. I really hope films like this is the kind of films that make me just sit and wish and hope that they get released on physical media somehow in some way, because I would love to own it on my shelves. It's just so well done. So the true story this is based on is basically you have this father played by Nick Offerman. He's an extremist sovereign essentially, which means he's the we are the master, the government is the slave mentality, like screw cops, don't get your name involved in the government, put a bunch of guns in your garage just in case the cops decide to overthrow kind of extreme right wing Christian conservative mentality. There is a sovereign lifestyle and culture that exists, and this guy was an extremist in that culture, and he was bringing his son up that way, and it of course ended in tragedy because inevitably, if you're getting pulled over by the police all the time, and you don't have a driver's license, which he doesn't, and you're always going to court, and his house is about to be evicted. That whole part of the eviction process of his home, because a big part of this movie is him being evicted in 30 days, really reminded me of a film which I also reviewed on the channel called 99 Homes. That film is about 12 years old now, and I watched it at Toronto International Film Festival, and I fell in love with that film. That film was entirely about the corruption of home repossession. But anyway, we're not talking about 99 Homes. Go watch that review if you want. Uh, but yeah, he's raising his son in this belief. He holds all these meetings and gatherings and speaks about his truth, what he believes in, and it's a really well written film, and it's so easy to get lost and invested in this film. Every performance is phenomenal, Nick Offerman especially, but I can't take away anything from the kid, Jacob Tremblay, who kills it too, and he's stuck between a hard and a hard. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. A hard and a hard place. Yeah, that makes sense. Stuck between a rock and a hard place because he loves his dad and he wants to follow in the footsteps of his dad, and his dad is an extremely good leader, and he makes a lot of points that I'm with. He's just unfortunately an extremist, and he falls into terrorism, and he is not a good person. He's not a good guy. He's not morally right, mentally or morally at all. And then you have Dennis Quaid and Thomas Mann, who are police officers. Thomas Mann is becoming one, and Dennis Quaid is one. And in the middle of the movie, you're just like, this is heading to some damn good climax. Like, obviously, something's gonna happen between these two parties, or these four parties, I should say, because there's the son, there's the father son police, and then there's the father son sovereigns, and you're like, yeah, I'm waiting for this to lead somewhere where it's just gonna be like edge of your seat kind of shit, and yeah, it gets there. It gets there. It gets intense. It's very sad that this was based on a true story, and it's such a well directed film. It's such a well edited film. It's such a well acted film, but it's such a well directed film, and it's paced perfectly. And the ending, the way they decide to end the film on the last frame is excellent. I gave this a 4 out of 5. It was almost a 4.5. It was almost a 4.5, and I think with another watch it might get there. But it is a phenomenal watch, and it's going to be criminally underrated. I already know that, and I'm hoping it gets a physical release. But I've been hoping for a lot of films to get physical releases, and they have not. So yeah, great performances all around, and really intense stuff. And again, with the script, it's just so beautiful and realistic. And like I said, there's a lot of gray areas with everybody, Dennis Quaid and Thomas Mann, and then Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay. There's a lot of, it's not right and wrong all the time. Like there's a lot of things about Nick Offerman's character that like I said, I support, and he has this idea where he's against the banks. The bank is a big thing, and he studies the hell out of law, and he knows his shit when it comes to like fighting back and standing his ground. And I'm all for that. Like if the law is the law, and you should use it to your advantage. Like fully 100%. I'm with him on that. But you know extremists sometimes land in extremism without even realizing it. Sometimes that's scary. That's really scary. You know, when you're driving around and you have an AK-47 right in the front seat with you, I don't think you're. I think you've already crossed that line. I don't think anything good is coming from that. So yeah, that's Sovereign. Go find this film. It's so good. It's streaming, like I said, but it's quite pricey from what I've seen everywhere. But yeah, it's one to check out. It's a drama, thriller, suspense, action. I would say in that order. Lot of drama though, and a true story, like I said. But it's so good. So check it out if you can get your hands on it. And subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I will be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.